This is video 2 for our emoji flipbooks. Alright, so after we have added value to all 4 of our emojis, we're going to cut them out. So I finished, started to cut most of them out. You want to make sure that you're cutting on the straight line. You want to make sure that they're as even as possible. And please do not cut off the little letters. There are little letters in the corners of each of the cards. So they're really important that we keep those on. Alright, now we're going to get ready. So what we're going to need is, the only supplies we need are these for glue, and we can kind of move everything to the side. If you have some kind of folding tool, you may get that out. This right here is called a bone tool. It helps you fold pieces of paper. Alright, so let's take one card at a time. If you look at each card very, very gently, should be a letter, and then there should be a little notch, and then a straight line. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 2 notches, and we are going to fold in our papers to the notch. So it's 1 and 2. Now some of them have different notches, so you need to make sure that you are being very careful with which ones have what notches in them. Alright, so this one is this notch, and what you can do is you fold it, and then you can kind of just put it to the side. If you look at this one right here, the line is here, but the notch is right there. It's a little tiny, tiny black line. So what you're going to do is there's a notch there and there's a notch at the bottom. Line them up. Okay? If you have a rubbing tool or a folding tool, you can use that. And then the notches meet here, almost like you're folding it in, like we almost did for a behind the mask project. And we can put this aside. These 2 are the same. You're going to look for the line and the notch. You're going to fold it in to the notch, then crease it. Fold it in to the notch, and then crease it. Okay, so you should have 2 that are the same, and then you should have these 2 that are the same. Line, notch. There's a little black notch. Okay, so it should be on the opposite side of the way that the line is. Okay, now we're going to cut all of these apart on the black line. So we're not going to cut it on the fold, we're going to cut it on the black line. So in here, our black line is here. We're going to make sure that we cut these nice and straight as possible, okay, and try to keep them together. So we're going to cut all 4 of these like so. Remember, at any time you can pause the video if you need to catch up on how to fold these. Okay, now this part gets a little tricky, so you're going to make sure that all of these together, and I will put them in groups. These 2 are cut the same, and these 2 are cut the same. Okay, now you each have a handout, okay, that has the directions that are also in the Google Slides, and it tells you exactly what to do and what to do first and second and third. So if you get a little stumped, you can just ask. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab A first, number A, and we're going to flip it over. We're going to get our glue stick, and we're going to put 4 notches of glue. We're going to put one here, 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 and here. Okay? Then the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these, B. Okay? But instead of putting it on like this, we're going to flip it. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up the bottom with the glue, and then we're going to line up the top with the glue. And we're only want to make sure that we have glue in these corners, okay? And we're going to press down. The glue takes a couple minutes to dry, so we're going to just kind of press it down. And we're going to do it on this side as well. There's a notch of glue, there's a notch of glue, and really hold it down and move it. Okay, now, this is where it starts to get tricky. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to open it up and fold this back like this. Okay, and we're going to lay it down. Then we are going to rotate it so that this is the opening. So that we're going to take these and we are going to put them here. Okay, so notice what I did. Let's start that again. So I glued these down. I'm going to flip it backwards and then flip it to the side. So I want you to take a minute and make sure that you get it there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on the whole side here and the whole side here. Remember, we can pause this at any time if you feel like this is too fast for you, okay? And we're going to pinch this down. There's one last step to this whole thing. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take these and we're going to flip them again, like so. And we're going to fold them down. Notice there's an opening here, so this is where these two are going to be glued right here. So in this case, this is the last one. We can put glue all over these two spaces. Okay. And when you glue, you want to use a good amount of glue. Please use a glue stick. You can use tape for this, but glue sticks work the best. Do not use Elmer's glue because the sticky glue kind of really is like real messy. All right, so you're going to press it down. Now, I do suggest making sure that you let this completely dry before you start manipulating it and messing with it. But for time's sake, I'm going to start to do it. So it might fall apart at first. So we look at this right here, and what you can do is you can see if there's any spots that need to be trimmed, and you can kind of trim those up as we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it. So now the first time we flip it, nothing's really going to happen because you need to flip it twice. And you've got to be really gentle with how you flip. So now we have our kissy face. But I notice that there's a little paper here. So what I can do is I can open this up and I can kind of trim that off. So now we have our kissy face. Now if we keep going, oh, there we have our smiley face. All right, so if we go through all of them, we should be able to see all 4 emojis. So 1, 2, and see that's the glue, so we got to make sure we hold that down. 2, 3, oh, and we didn't even see the last one. 4, and now you have created your first emoji flipbook. If you have any questions, just